Nicola Sturgeon might have been gifted with a secret independence weapon as Brexit talks reach their final and most delicate phase, a British historian has claimed. Prime Minister Boris Johnson has said he believes a trade deal with the EU is not likely and that the UK should now get ready to leave the bloc's single market and customs union at the end of the year without a new agreement in place. Speaking from Downing Street in a televised speech at the end of last week, Mr. Johnson kept the door open for further talks but blamed Brussels for refusing to negotiate seriously in recent months. He said he would always be willing to hear from the EU side if they came back to the UK with a fundamental change of approach. Last month, the government set a deadline of October 15 for an agreement to be struck, or clearly within sight, saying there would be no point continuing talks beyond this week without adequate progress. The UK's chief negotiator David Frost and his EU counterpart Michel Barnier are set to hold further discussions. However, after a summit with the bloc's leaders concluded on Friday, sticking points on fisheries and the level playing field remain. While failing to reach a good agreement could be devastating for Mr. Johnson's premiership, in a recent report, British historian Robert Toombs argued it could also break the UK. Mr. Toombs claimed only a good Brexit will be able to stop the Scottish independence dream, suggesting that an unpopular Brexit could be Ms. Sturgeon's secret weapon as she seeks to break away from the UK. He wrote, "There are many concrete explanations for the fairly recent growth of Scottish nationalism, and the litany has become familiar: Thatcher, the poll tax, Tory ascendancy in England, the decline of Labour and so on. These are all convincing as creators of political discontent, but what turned discontent into nationalist dreams of independence was the EU. Whether by accident or design, the EU created for a time the belief that independence within the EU was risk-free and wholly beneficial. For a mini-state like Luxembourg, the EU's wealthiest member, what was not to like? Ireland, so it seemed for a while, had become a Celtic tiger, primed by lavish subsidies. But both Luxembourg and Ireland are now facing huge bills for future EU budgets.